Steve LaPointe starting off the stream. Bam! Good morning, everybody. Steve LaPointe, 5 memberships. Those go to EMR Coins, Papa York, 7 Stacks, Kellen L, and Mark Carney. Dude, thank you so much, Steve. You're awesome. I appreciate the support. That is a way to start off a Sunday morning stream. Chief Stacker, good morning. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Always welcome to join my stream. Come in, chit chat, text, call, whatever you need to do, brother. I just appreciate you. Thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate that. EMR Coins, man, now you're green, brother. That's awesome. Jeff Davis is in the house. Woohoo. Thank you so much for coming into the stream. Man, Steve, that was awesome of you. Time to start. All right. So let's go through the how do you do's. Say hi to everybody in the stream real quick. Kane Friday was a little ambitious this morning. Popped in at 3:30 this morning. Wanted to say, how do you do? I doubt he's going to be here right now. But EMR Coins is here. Freaking awesome is in here. Hey, bud, I appreciate you being a mod. Thank you for the support of the channel. Steve LaPointe, again, dropping the big goodies right at the very start. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a channel member. I sincerely and utterly appreciate you. Me, thanks for coming in. My brotherly banter. Appreciate you doing that. Work on that truck. Listen in quiet mode. Comment from time to time if you would. And thank you for being a member as well. Woohoo's in the house. Already said hi to you, but I got to say hi twice just because I can. Again, everyone and all is in the house. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you coming into the stream. The way things, I don't know if you've seen this before, but gifted memberships just get sent out randomly. And so that was really cool, Steve LaPointe. Like, absolutely freaking awesome of Steve LaPointe. All right. So let's see. We've got who else do we got in here? Who am I missing? We've got Steve. We've got 75 in Penny's baby. That's one who I'm missing. She is a channel member. Thank you so much for being a channel member. 75 in Pennies. Again, Chief, I said this before, but thank you so much for being a channel member. I sincerely appreciate you. I see Jeff Davis. Jeff Davis is another channel member. Thank you so much. Kellen L, dude, you just got a gifted membership. Make sure you throw that big how do you do over to Steve LaPointe. Nana Stacks is in the house. Nana, thank you so much for doing that. Nana, I'm going to send you an email. I did something different. It's going to help out even more. And then just sending a quarter up. I'll explain that to you later. But thank you for that. Johnson's Family Adventures in the house. William E., thank you so much for being a channel member. I appreciate all you do and all the things that you watch for the channel. So thank you so much. I sincerely and utterly appreciate you. Ah, she's here. The one, the only Ladybug Stacker. This is also somebody else who is very generous to the community and very generous to the channel. Gifting memberships, dropping stuff all the time. Fabulous lady, Ladybug Stacker. Thank you so much for being in here. I sincerely appreciate you. Oh, it wouldn't be his party if Brown Sugar wasn't here, so we can get that party started, right? Yeah, let's get this going. Paula Bloom is in the house. All right, Paula, hold on just a sec. I'm going to send you up. I'm going to fire off that invite here just a moment, just a second. If you want to come up, again, no need to come up if you don't want to, but it's always open, available for you. So thanks for coming into the stream. Wendy's Pocket Change is in the house. Hi, Wendy. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate all the love and channel support. So, okay, here's what I want to do before we even begin. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, because at the very beginning, me said, turn that damn heart off. It's annoying as hell. And so we've talked about this in the past about how to do it. Hey, Armando from the Vault is here. Thank you so much. I'm glad somebody finally found the combination. But here's how you do this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to present and I'm going to share my screen. And I want to show you, let me see, where are we? I need to share. I think it's screen. Nope. It is screen 1. Nope. Hold on. I see you in the basement, Paula. Hold on just a second. Allow. All right, now I need to change. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'll let you know in about 15 minutes after I had some coffee. So far, so good.
Outstanding. Ringmaster Ray's in the house. Hey, Ringmaster Ray, good to see you here. All right.
Mondo.
Yeah, as I said, Armando from the vault. Somebody found his combination. Let him out. All right. So here's what we got going on. This is where you're going to need to be in order to see how to change and get that stupid heart off of your chat. Okay. A lot of people have asked about this. I've helped a couple people on their channel get it off. I think Great Scott was the one who showed me how to do it. But what you do is when you're in your live stream, you're going to come to this screen. Now you get to this screen. If anybody's ever gone to one of their videos on YouTube, you're going to see analytics. If you click on the analytics under your video, it has to be your video, can't be somebody else's, but if it's on your video, you can click on analytics. Doesn't matter if you're live, doesn't matter if it's an old video, it doesn't matter at all. But then you come up here and you click on this edit. Now, when you click on this edit, it's going to bring up some information that I put in. If you click on customization, you're going to see this right here. This is reactions, live reactions. If I click that, you're going to see the little stupid heart show back up. Da-da-da. There's that nasty beast, right? So if I go through and I go back in, I click edit, click on customization, turn that live reaction off. Okay, get the heart because I'm about to kill it. Right? All right, I'll give you a couple more. Oh, that siren's in the house. Hey, good morning, siren. Okay, goodbye. It's gone. And poof, like a cloud of dust, it is gone. So if you've ever wanted to really understand how to shut that off, if you have live streams and you're just trying to figure out how to turn that stupid thing off, now you know. All right. So anyway, wanted to start that off. The other thing that I want to do, and Paula, I'll do this and then we'll just start chit-chatting.
Oh, look, it's your show, man.
The other thing that I wanted to ask is I wanted to ask this question. Now, this question is being asked. Hey, Copperal, good to see you. Siren, good to see you. Thanks for coming into the stream. Excuse me. Goodness. Poppy York, thank you for being a channel member. I sincerely appreciate you. So yesterday during the premiere train, I put out a video about the Spirit of St. Louis, and there was a couple comments put in there. Not to call anybody out. The discussion and the questions are people's points of view and people's concerns. But I wanted to make something very clear. I was doing planes on coins or planes on rounds. I wasn't talking about the person who performed the feat. Now, why is that important to say? Well, if anybody knows about the history of Charles Lindbergh, you know that he fell from American grace because of his anti-Semitic, pro-Jewish, pro-Nazi, get rid of the West mind process and thoughts from his change from the late 20s, early 30s into the late 30s and into World War II. He became disenfranchised with Canada and America's policy, focusing on the crown, thought that the West should stay completely out of it. This was a Eastern war. This was European war. This was the theater. The United States needed to stay out of it. And I wasn't supporting Charles Lindbergh or his viewpoints. But I need to explain something to you. A person who is a numismatist, there you go, Carla, or Paula, okay? Numismatist.
You had to get one thing wrong.
Not numismaticist.
Numismaticist.
I'm going to say that every once in a while, just because I can now. Collects and understands the historical context of the coins that they look at. They're interested not only with the coin itself, but what was the process, the minting process during that time frame? How did any potential errors or varieties appear on the coin? What is the coin's history, the makeup? there are people who collect World War I, Civil War, World War II, Korea, Vietnam. They focus solely on items within that genre, in that realm. And so there's a difference between, and this is something that this is where I want Paula to kind of come into this discussion. Just because somebody brings up a coin, for instance, there is a 1945 German coin or a 1943 German coin, they're silver. Some of them are extremely valuable, right? It doesn't mean that we support Nazi regime.
No.
It means we're interested in a fabulous coin, right? And so it's important for people who see these kind of things to understand that the people who are talking about them don't necessarily support the viewpoints or the ideals behind where the coin came from. They just love the coin. So I want to be very clear. So this brings another question, and this is where I want Paula to really engage in. What is the difference between a collector and a numismatist?
Collector of coins?
Collector of coins, semi-numismatic, numismatic, that
Nothing.
kind of stuff.
Nothing. 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 That's what numismatics is.
Well, but
Collecting coins.
when people say collector, they
Mhm.
forget that bullion is not numismatic.
But that's not a coin.
It's not a coin. So you have to, there's some clarification that has to go within that question.
Bullion rounds are exonumia by definition. So it would be included. Right? Like elongated cents, like tokens. Tokens aren't coins. They're
Civil
exonumia.
War. Yeah.
But they are part of numismatics.
Well, see, and there, Steve, this is kind of where I was going with that, right? What about currency?
Currency is not numismatics, I don't think. It might be.
I don't believe it falls under that that caricature. The reason I don't think it is because numismatics has to do with coinology.
No, actually, it is part of numismatics.
Is it really?
Yeah, paper money.
I didn't think paper money was.
Tokens, paper money, metals, related objects, coins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think it was.
No, it is. Yeah.
So, okay. So
tokens, paper money, metals, metals are technically bullion too, silver metals.
So I got that confused with minting processes because currency is not minting.
No,
minting only occurs with coins.
They happen at the BEP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is the BED for people who don't know?
BEP. The BEP is where money is printed.
And what is the BEP?
Hell if I know. Bureau of Engraving and Printing.
There you go.
Something like that.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. I actually have a definition sitting here, so I wanted to.
Something like that.
Yeah. Because I was going to talk about, because I didn't realize that. I didn't think that numismatics involved paper currency.
Yeah. And tokens and metals and exonumia and tokens are exonumia.
So bullion falls under the numismatic realm.
Bullion rounds would, right?
Okay. I don't subscribe to that theory because it's not a coin. There's no
neither is a token, neither is a silver medal. Silver medals aren't a coin.
Yeah, that's true.
But paper money's not a coin either.
Say that again.
Paper money's not a coin either.
Well, no, and that's why I don't subscribe to paper money being a part of numismatics. And I do understand definition wise, yes, but
yeah,
when I'm looking at minting and things like that, I just don't. My classification, like if I'm looking at
so the United States Mint didn't mint Civil War tokens either; they were privately minted. So, but they're still part of numismatics.
Well, some of them were.
No, none of them were minted by the U.S. Mint. Civil War tokens and Civil
Oh,
War
that's right, because
store
like
cards and stuff were all privately minted.
Delonga or Dalagaga or whatever, how you guys name
Dahlonega,
Dalnaga, yeah,
Dahlonega. I don't know how you say
Delanaga,
it.
one of those, yeah. That
Potato,
the
potato.
other D
I've never
mint,
been there. Yeah, the other
yeah.
demon.
They minted some stuff for the South during that time frame, and then closed their doors altogether.
But not Civil War tokens or store cards.
Didn't they mint some Civil
They're
War
still
stuff?
part of the U.S. Mint.
They were, but the South took them over and did some private minting there during the Civil War.
I don't know anything about that.
So
No, you can't come with me. You want to say hi? Say hi. Hi.
hi.
Hi. Okay, stay out here with mommy. I'm being followed. Wait a minute, I gotta run. Shut my door. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Mama.
Well,
Mama.
they may have done something after they were a mint, right? After they were part of the U.S. Mint. But
Yeah, I like that mint just because I want to get a piece of gold from there.
right.
That would be cool to have.
Maybe that's what they minted. Maybe they minted privately minted gold stuff. I don't know. But I don't know of a single Civil War token or store card or anything like that that was ever minted there.
Yeah,
But
I'll have
if
to do
you,
some research on that
yeah,
because
yeah.
I thought that there were some when I was looking at my trivia and reading some stuff about that mint. I thought they minted some Civil War stuff. They stopped doing it because of the low gold content and the pressure that was coming from the war. So they stopped doing gold from that time frame, and then minted private money to support the
Maybe,
war effort. So I might have that backwards. I'll have to double check on that. Maybe I'll do a short little video
maybe
on
that's
the
what
history
they
of that
ended up.
area.
Maybe that's what they turned it into. But it wasn't part of the U.S. Mint at that
Yeah,
point because I know that the U.S. Mint never minted them, and
yeah,
none of the U.S. Mint, none of the mints.
yeah. So I like Civil War tokens, Chief. It's cool. I know Ringmaster Rick's found a few.
I love them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
I'm
I don't.
big on exonumia. I'm huge on exonumia. I'm a
I,
big.
I I think anybody who knows you like exonumia,
I think so.
especially the elongated sense.
Yeah, those are fun. Mhm.
So I used to have a bunch when I was a kid, but I just
So
the-
sorry if I flipped your script there.
no, it's good.
You
But see,
asked.
this is again, this is one of those things where still being new to the realm of the hobby, there's a lot of misconceptions that I'm still learning about, right?
Yeah,
So
and there's a lot of information out there
and there's
that's not correct or it's old or
old.
yeah,
That's one thing that I found, and this is this I wasn't going to talk about this today, but this is a good time to do so. Is that the information from 15 years ago isn't necessarily true anymore. So when you're watching some of the old experts,
Mhm.
information has changed. Things have been identified, things have been clarified, definitions have changed.
Yes.
And so even watching some old videos from experts still can have a little bit of misinformation in it. So I don't feel bad at all being corrected because I want to provide, and you and I have talked about this thousands of times. I want to provide the best information I can, and I'm going to have to be corrected a lot if I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that. I'm good with being
You
corrected.
have to be okay with it. You
As
have to be
long as
okay
it's
with
not my wife, I'm okay.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding.
you have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
I talked about it before. Mike Diamond and Ken Potter, two of the most brilliant minds in errors and varieties in the industry, disagree often. And it gets very
Yeah.
confusing for me because I look up to both of them. And when they disagree, I pull some hair out.
Well, and the thing that's important when you're
And
looking
then
at
and
that.
then I side with Ken Potter. I side with Ken Potter. That's who I side with.
Well, what's important when you look at that stuff is that that must have been a huge cup of coffee you're leveling off. No, it's not. It's just what's
Yeah.
what's fun about these kind of conversations, right? And this is, and I've said this before, I'll say it 1,000 times. Okay, most of now there's a lot of documentation that goes into looking at coins.
Yeah.
Right, documentation from the mint, documentation of transport, documentation of where coins went to, like the area they were distributed in, where the items were found in. And a lot of our stuff is based off of records, old records, and then validation and verification by experts. All right, they go through, they identify, they look at stuff, and then they go through. Here's the thing, documentation doesn't always make sense. Documentation often is incomplete.
Or leaves
And
room for interpretation.
yeah, right. Case in
Mhm.
point, there are famous books that have sold billions and billions and billions of copies. And you get two people to read it, sit side by side, and they'll tell you it means something different.
Yeah. Well, listen, okay, so I know I'm not talking about religion, but I'm going to use this as an example. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They all saw exactly the same thing, but their accounts of certain
Yeah.
events are a little bit different because they saw it in from their own standpoint, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, and you look
same
at
thing, just a little bit different.
Well, and you look at the language. So you have to understand when you're looking at historical documentation. And again, don't want to get into biblical studies
Mhm.
or get into theology or anything like that. But to continue on that kind of general line, Matthew was a tax collector, right? Fisherman.
One of them was,
Yeah. Luke was a doctor, right?
they were
So
all sinners. They were all sinners.
right. But here's the thing. Now, when you're looking at that, this happens all the time
My
within our
mom could
hobby.
have told you. My mom knew all
My mom will know. Yeah, she knows.
I don't know.
Um, but here's the thing about that. So when you look at documentation,
I
okay,
think it
when you're
was
look
Peter. Wasn't it Peter that was a tax collector? Because Jesus changed his name, right? I don't know. Now you got me thinking. I'm sorry, I'm getting squirrel.
no,
Don't
so
do that to me.
Saul became Paul.
Yeah,
The
there were a
apostle
couple
Paul
that
was the
they
guy
changed.
who was the zealot and the tax collector and that one. That one I know.
John Peter.
Yeah.
There was a couple that were that their names. I
So
don't know whatever.
so all I remember is Luke was the physician. Luke was the doctor. And so
Yeah.
the thing about the language is you have to look at their uh, educational background as well, right?
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
have a simpler language if you're not a physician. You may have a more complex and robust
So,
communication style. If you are well educated, and you've done that, and you've dealt with leaders and that kind of stuff. Um, but again, scratching the biblical reference, this happens in common life,
yes,
right?
it
And
is.
we talk to people all the time. This is why in the medical field, right? I point out Luke in the medical field, but when you look in the medical field, this is why we tell people when you're doing things like a consent form, right? Write it to the 6th grade level. Because if I and so I'll give you a great example of something that just happened a few moments ago. Okay. What is exonumia? Paula knows. She deals with that all the time.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of people in the chat are like, what the hell is that? Right?
Tokens.
Because you may not know. Who knows what exo means?
Exo.
What is EXO? What does it mean?
Outside.
Of, right? But there's a lot of people who may not know what the definition of exo means. And so if you can't break out the idea, Steve LaPointe, I have no idea. If you can't break down the language because that's not part of your vernacular, it's difficult for you to understand maybe what they meant. And so if you don't understand what we do, the human mind does, human nature, the psyche of being, we want to make sense out of nothing. We do the same thing with our visual. What do you call it, Paula? The eye sees what it wants to see?
Yep. Pareidolia.
Pareidolia, right? So this is one of those things where it happens in text. It happens to understand text as well. It also happens with faces. We see faces everywhere we go, in shapes, in clouds, all that kind of stuff, even though they don't exist. Our mind wants to make sense of stuff. So we will fill in the gaps with whatever knowledge that we have available to us. In numismatics, it's hard to not do that because you may understand a portion of history, but that portion of history may have nothing to do, even though it's a time frame, may have nothing to do with that numismatic item or exonumismatic item.
Yeah.
Right. So it's important when you have these discussions to really understand the mindset, the background, education, geographic location of the people having the conversations, because they will learn and understand things differently. And then what we don't do, and I'm going to get on my stool for just a minute. I hope I don't fall off and break my hip. But what we don't do as a society anymore, we do it within the hobby, but what we don't do as a society is we don't come along, have these discussions, and we're okay with not being correct. We're okay with not being right. We want to get the right answer. We want to get the correct answer. We don't do that anymore. People want to be justified, and they hammer that stuff out. So when you read articles,
and they want to be first,
and they want to, yeah. Well, because that is a pride. It's a boastful situation. Papa Giorgio,
and they're all wondering why they're still looking at your studio screen.
Oh, because I'm a retard and I didn't change the screen. Let's do this. How's that? Is that better?
There you go.
I'm so sorry. Like, we don't need to see your stats anymore. We really don't care. I wasn't even looking at that stream. Papa Giorgio, this is Paula. It is, in fact.
It might be Paula.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. I wasn't even looking at the screen anymore. I was focusing on the camera and looking at chat. So
that's okay. I just was.
It's all good. But yeah, I don't mind being corrected, because odds are I'll get about 85% of it right. And if I don't know, then I'm going to be including people like Eric, Paula, or Chuck.
I think that's one of the biggest problems, right? We talk about all the YouTube bad information that's out there. I think that's part the biggest problem is that these people have got that information from somebody else. Okay. They say that a lie will make it 2 times around the earth before the truth even gets out of bed. Well, that's probably the same thing with bad information. These people have heard that information from someone else, and they heard it from someone else, and so on and so on and so on, like the telephone game. And it just gets worse every time it gets repeated, and nobody is correcting them. Well, except for me. But
this is why they call you the crusher of dreams. Yeah.
But they're not going to listen to me because they've heard the same thing from 50 other people that they're repeating. So who are they going to listen to? Who are they going to think is right? Me, some random person or whatever, or the 50 other people that they heard the information, the bad information from?
Oh,
right?
My Aunt Stella said.
Yeah, exactly. So
what did your Aunt Stella do? She was a stay-at-home mom. Did she take care of the finances? Oh no, she wasn't allowed to mess with money.
Thanks.
So,
You're so
oh,
sweet, Frank. But yeah, it's really hard. It's really, really hard to get the good stuff out there. Because and a lot of times this bad information is telling you that your coin has value.
we
And I'm
have
telling you your coin has no value. So
we
there
have a
again,
couple
who you
channels in the community who thrive on that.
mm-hmm.
And just because, and I'm not saying any names, but Paula has a couple really good ideas of where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
100,000, 200, 300,000 views, and they show something. One is it's impossible to get, and they tell you that you can find these things and that they're available to you.
In your pocket
And
change.
yeah, or they give you basic information about something and then they feed you a line of crap
Mm-hmm.
talking about two different varieties, putting it into one coin, and you'll never find it. You'll never find it.
And
Yeah.
especially because that will be the only thing that you're looking for, a month or 2 months. You'll get fixated on that one certain coin.
So Roxzilla, nothing against you, but I'm going to remove it. I don't want to call any channels out. Okay. Again, it's not my point is to not point out anybody that,
But he's right.
okay. But the thing is that I'm not doing that. I'm not calling
I know.
people out.
I
It
know. That's
doesn't,
why I didn't say any names. I
yeah,
will
that's
on other
not my
channels.
thing.
If you want me to
Because,
see their names, come to Ida's in the morning. Sorry.
well, but here's the thing. There's a lot of channels. There's other ones.
There are a lot. That's true.
There are channels where good people in the community help them get on their feet.
Yeah.
And they figured out a solution, blew up on YouTube, but they still give crappy information.
Yeah.
And so
and sometimes it's just incomplete information.
yeah, don't
And you need the
apologize,
whole.
Roxzilla. This is why I
Yeah.
said don't apologize. I'm not asking you to apologize. I did it because number one,
Papa Giorgio.
I want to be clear about something. Okay, this is kind of how I operate. People generally know who the channels are. And misinformation, or they do the research, they just don't get it right. They take the time to build something, they know a majority of it, they run with it, and they just kind of talk off the cuff because they kind of have an idea of what's going on. And then they put it out because they're good at presentation, they're good at design, they're good at implementation. They have, and I'll just do this, right? Okay, they have their gimmick, right? Their little gimmick is the one that fires that off. They blow up. And they're the channels that people follow. But here's the thing. You'll never find those channels telling somebody that's not correct.
Never.
You'll never find those channels retracting. And ask Paula. I've done this on mine a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 15, 18, 2,000 views on a video. Paula's corrected me on it, and I've pulled the video. I don't leave it up.
I'm sorry.
Because I don't, no. But the thing is that I don't want misinformation out there. It's a moral thing. It's not that, it's not even a moral thing. It's an ethical thing. If I find out I gave you misinformation and I leave it there, I'm adding to the problem.
And it grows because they will repeat that. People will repeat that information.
Yep. And then where did it come from? Well, it came from so-and-so, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no, just don't do that.
Yeah.
But again, it's just, I'm not here to call people out.
Right.
Now,
No, that's my job.
that's Paula's job. Paula's job.
I don't make any
But
friends.
what I will do, okay, if somebody is doing something that is defamatory,
Yeah.
if somebody is blatantly manipulating people or something like that, you better damn well believe I'm going to call you out. Now, people who, and the reason that you can't do that, the reason that you can't just generally call everybody out is it becomes personal. It becomes an attack. It becomes something that you take somebody's idea or concern about something and you're like, man, did you see how they attacked that person? It's not cool when that happens. We do this too often as a people, as a society. We hear something and man, we are on the train. We are going, we are running, we are with it.
Yeah.
And we don't even know who the players are. We don't even know the backstory. We saw this much of a little clip on YouTube and we are fired up and we're going.
Good morning, Kraken Travis.
Right. Hey, Kraken with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, bud. But I don't want to feed into the chaos and the crap. Okay. You have your opinion. I have my opinion. My goal is for us to sit down together and say, what are the differences? What am I potentially missing? Right? Because in that you learn, in that you grow, and that's how you advance as a people. That doesn't tear people down. And there are times where we can agree to disagree, and that's fine. There are viewpoints that people have that I absolutely don't agree with, but we're still friends. We still get along because we understand that it's not about the person. It's about the topic. And we don't have to like the topic, but I can still love the person. Right? Nana Stacks, good question. Live coin Q&A. Right? Walker halves DDR die markers. You can go to Wexler. You can go to Variety Vista. Livecoinqa.com, right? Paula? She must have had to step away.
Sorry, I'm here. Yeah, livecoinqa.com is our website, and there's a place on there with informational websites. But yeah, the best ones for walkers is Variety Vista or Wexler's.
Yeah. Now, Variety Vista, don't get me wrong, I love Wexler's, but Variety Vista will give you most likely more images to look at.
Yeah.
Wexler's, you might get one or two.
There. Let's see. There. I put Walking Liberty, Variety Vista in the chat.
Yeah.
You go.
And again, there's a ton of information, a plethora, if you will.
But make sure your best marker is going to be the doubling. Make sure you find the doubling first. That you don't match, you don't look for a double die by looking for die markers. You look for a double die by looking for doubling.
So
Sometimes in worn coins, you won't even have die markers because they're all worn out.
I made that mistake the other day, and I learned his special K's in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Steve, hold on just a sec. Who was that? Somebody came in, just a sec. Let me get there. Somebody said hi, and I missed it. Who was it? Jerry Parker. Jerry Parker's a channel member. Thank you so much for coming in. So I was watching Charles Daughtry, Chuck, and he was going over that fabulous collection.
Yeah. Brian Allen.
I didn't.
Dr. Brian Allen.
Dr. Brian Allen. Oh man, you guys know I'm a hardcore avid supporter of Coin Crew, Live Coin Q&A. I love working with channels. I love working with like Big Flip. I like looking at copper coins, Eric Bayer, Charles Daughtry. I love working with a lot of these folks. And I was just dumbfounded. Every coin that they were pulling out of this dude's collection was like, oh yeah, this is 5,000. This is 10,000. Oh, I was offered 15,000 for this one, but turned it down. Oh, this was the discovery coin for, oh yeah, there's only one of 3 of these. Oh, there's only one of 5 of these. Oh, this was the discovery coin for this one. I was like, holy crap. But I found out something. Dennis blah, 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 with a $10 super chat. Outstanding. I want a 5-ounce drummer boy quarter. I don't think $10 will do that, dude. I think you need a little bit more than that. But I think, do they even have those in 5-ounce? I think that would be really cool. I would do the bicentennial one. 5-ounce.
I don't think they do.
I think that would be a really cool one to have, though.
Yeah, no, they started
really cool
they started the 5-ounce with the was it 2018 or I don't know, with it hasn't been that long ago that they started those 5-ounce, I think.
What was an awkward conversation? Woohoo.
Woohoo. What was it?
For $10 you can get one from China.
that is true. It was 2010. That's when they started them, Dennis. 2010. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, which conversation, woo? But anyway, so Paula was talking about not looking for die markers. Now there's a coin. The guy with the world coin collection I ran to at the Tulsa show.
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't see that. There was a guy I ran into the Tulsa show with a collection of common world coins who are absolutely convinced that all of them. Yeah, that happens all the time.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and trying to get them to understand that, oh my God, look at this. I have this entire collection from coins around the world. It's that happens all the time. But Charles showed, or Chuck, I don't know why I'm saying Charles. Chuck showed a coin. And it was the, what was that? It was the 1937 D or 1937S double die. And anyway, on the back of it, it had some certain die markers. And there's only like one of 5. And the coin's like $15,000 or something like that. I'll find the coin. I'll reach out to Chuck, find the coin, and I'll do a short about it. But the reverse had die markers on it, and that reverse was used in other coins. It does not have the DDO, but it has the reverse with those other die markers. And if you find that coin with the reverse, it's actually worth a couple $100, but it does not have the doubling. I'll see if I can get that one. I'll find out from him. Find out what coin that was, and I'll talk about that because farm dog. Oh, that 1917 DDO was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the quality and the shape of the coin. I mean, it's in what, MS62, MS63?
They're all in like.
It's just like, what? Oh, holy crap. Yeah, just fabulous. And then, hey, Moose Ox, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. So they switched out the obverse die. Yeah, so what happened was they had the doubling and the obverse, and die cracks, whatever happened, they replaced the obverse. So this happens. So if you look at copper coins, and I'll pull one up here in just a minute, because there's one. Or actually, Variety Vista.
And that's not the case just with that one day. That happens all the time.
All the time.
Where they switch out obverse and reverse dies, and that happens all the time. One will wear out faster, or one gets dropped and broke or something. It happens all the time.
So I'm going to show you I'm going to show you a coin. I looked at this simply because I found one looking for something, and as I was looking for it, I was like, oh, well, that can't be right because it doesn't have the die marker. And then I was like, oh, well, it actually can. So let me find it. Here's a good one. So let me change present screen share, and we're
And a
going to
lot
go
of times when you're
to.
looking for Variety Vista, down at the very bottom, it'll show different stages and it'll actually tell you that at this stage, this
This is
die was
exactly
switched
where I'm
out.
going. That's
Yeah.
exactly where I'm going. 1953 D over D.
Mhm.
Okay, this is northeast. Okay, so when you look up here, it's north. Well, yeah, it's northeast, but north. And so you come down here and you're looking at the die markers, and you can see the various die markers that are here. You can see the die scratches, the X crossing. But if you come down here and you look at stage B, you'll see that the reverse die was changed.
Mhm.
And so when you look at the ones down below, these die markers that you find here will not be on this coin.
Right.
They will not have the same thing. And so when Paula told me the other day, it was like, well, I always look for the die marker to validate that that's what it's there. She goes, well, you can't look at the die marker first. And I'm like, well, why not? She goes, because if you're looking for a specific die marker, you're going to miss the doubling. You have to find the doubling first. And I was like, well, it doesn't really, I mean, it makes sense, but I got to trust her. She knows what she's talking about. And then as I was looking up this particular coin, I happened to see that here, right? Later die state. And you're seeing that reverse die change. And it's like, oh, so this was the die reverse. And then this was the die reverse. So you can see that the numbers changed, right? This is what's going on. So when you look at Variety Vista will give you some information. So this is one key reason why you cannot utilize the die markers to identify a variety, just solely to identify the variety. You need to find the variety and then use the die markers to validate that.
Yeah.
And that was courtesy
your die markers. Your die markers have to be exact. They have to be exactly like the die markers that you're looking at. They can't be close or similar, or it has to be exact. And
so I'm going to give an example of that too. So Paula, this is kind of a good segue into something that I want to do.
Okay.
And I want to talk to you about it before I publicly announce an idea that I have. But I'm going to get back out of here, and I'm going to go. Oops, I'm going to go to. It is. Is it 18? I think it's 18. Dude, where are you? Okay, so what I'm about to show you are two different die varieties, and why it's really important to understand that you have to have the exact same information, because the die marker will not be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. So you're looking at two 1953 cents. Okay. They are not the same, but if you look, you'll see this piece right here, and you'll see this piece right here. They are not the same. They need to be exactly the same.
well, the mint mark position's not the same either.
No. So when you look at this one's farther up, this one's down farther. This one's moved over towards the that kind of position is pretty close. This one's actually farther to the right.
Yes.
And higher. This one's down a little bit to the left.
Yeah.
But you've got to look at these things, got to be exact, right? If it's not exact, let's say that you're looking through Variety Vista and you're looking at copper coins and you don't see this particular one because it doesn't, it's there, but it doesn't exactly match. take a picture of it and send it to Livecoin Q&A, send it to Eric Bayer, send it to Chuck Daughtry, and have them look at it. They may actually ask you for the coin, right? Really good quality pictures, not blurry, fuzzy pictures of your computer screen, right? You have to take good quality images.
But let me give you one piece of advice. He just named 3 names. You only need to use one. You don't need to send your pictures to all 3. Because you may not get any answers if you do that.
Well, yeah, that's true. But again, I'm not telling you to send them to those people specifically.
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm not saying
some people look at when you attach, you send an email and it's like forwarded to like 50 different names. Some people look at that and go, well, I don't know why they're asking me. Obviously, they aren't going to believe my answer.
Yeah. Yeah. And so again, I'm not.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab some coffee.
Yeah, no problem. When I say these things, I name the people that I would reference. Now, I have relationships with a couple of them, right? And so I would call them and say, hey, do you have a minute, right? A lot of people don't. You can cultivate relationships. This is why it's important to communicate and talk about these things and work with people. It's also good. Awesome. Thanks, Farm Dog. All right. So the coin that I was talking about earlier, Farm Dog went back, probably asked the video or emailed Eric or somebody and said, which one was this? He probably emailed Chuck or text Chuck. But they indicated 1972 double die obverse 004. Again, just fabulous freaking coin. But again, this is one of those where the die state changed in the back. And if you can find a 72 that's not a double die reverse or double die obverse, you can find that same reverse. It's actually worth some money. So again, but this is why you can't do that. You can't look at the die marker solely to identify a DDO or a DDR. But thank you, Farm Dog. I appreciate that, brother. I really do appreciate you. Really quick. Nana, no problem. See, that's what we're here for. Okay. Ask questions. This is the whole premise for Frosty's Chit Chat. Share information, have general talk about it, say hi, see what's going on. What's going on. Tiger Stacker with the $5 super chat. Frosty, do we send to the coin experts before or after we dip? So I don't think that dipping into that jack-o'-lantern would be a good thing for a coin. But no, again, my recommendation is good quality photos. Okay. And when Paula comes back, she can talk a little bit more about this. But from my observations, and I'm going to be talking specifically about Livecoin Q&A, if you have specific varieties, thanks, Steve LaPointe, 50 likes. That means silver is getting given away. I'll throw that on here in just a minute. So appreciate that. From watching and observing like Livecoin Q&A, listening to some of these other channels talk, this is what I recommend. Okay. Good quality photos. Okay. Now, good quality photos with an email that says, how much is this worth, is not a good way to get an answer. A good way to get an answer is, I found this coin and looking it up, I can't seem to find the variety. I would like help. Here's some things that, here's some good pictures. Can you help me out? What exactly are you looking for? What is the question you want answered? Don't ask 50 questions, right? Don't take pictures of 40 coins and send them to them all at once and say, identify this. Take one coin, ask one question, send it to them. You can send them 5 or 6 different questions, but take different pictures and send different questions individually. Okay. That way they know what they need to look at and focus on for those particular coins. Okay.
And you guys have a great cheat sheet. Like if you want to know what pictures we need to see, go to Variety Vista, look up, and you know what you're looking for, right? If you're looking for a 53D,
Yeah.
just go to Variety Vista, pick any one of them, and take the pictures, like take the date, take a picture of the mint mark, as good as you can get. Full obverse and reverse, we need those. Most people do. If you can't see what you want to see on your pictures, review your pictures. If you can't see it, we can't see it. So
Farm Dog wins the 50 like giveaway. So Farm Dog, send me
nice.
an email and I will get that out into the mail for you.
Congratulations.
Nope, Steve can't do that. That's my command and my command only. Otherwise,
No.
people would be giving all my crap away.
Yeah, right. Such a horrible.
So outstanding, Farm Dog. Yeah, well, you know what? I appreciate you. This is coin karma. Let's just call it coin karma.
Yeah.
So you stepped away for a minute. The coin that he was referencing, or that I was referencing early on, was the 72004.
Oh, good luck on that one.
Well, no, but that's the one with the reverse where they changed the obverse.
Oh.
So if you find the reverse on that one, it's still worth a couple $100.
With the doubling.
No. So this is Chuck was talking about this. That coin, if you find those particular, so there's like an X pattern next to the.
There's got to be more to it than what he's saying. It can't be just with a different.
This is why I said I'll reach out to Chuck and get the specifics.
Yeah.
But they changed the obverse on that coin. But if you can find the reverse, it's worth a couple $100 because there's something about the reverse that people just love. So, but there's no doubling on the obverse. It is not the 72 DDO, but it does have that same obverse or reverse.
Reverse. There's got to be more to that though.
So, yeah, I'll get some more information from him and then I'll put something else so everybody knows about it. Assuming that Farm Dog hasn't already called Chuck and got the information.
Talking about like the re-engraved.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Most of the stream where they were going over his coins, I was like this.
I know. It's hard to stay focused.
What? And you know what? Okay, so there was a joke running around, and it's kind of inappropriate that, they were having coingasms.
Coingasm. Yes.
And so it's with your eyes and you see this thing and it's like, oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. But here's the thing. Okay. And I want people to understand this. I'm a fairly new collector. I do not have any crazy, cool, valuable pieces. I think the most expensive coin I have's $500-600. Now, in my book, that's an awesome coin. But I want to be very clear with everybody. Do not get wrapped up in somebody else's collection and try to compete or try to attain or obtain. Don't do that because that's FOMO, fear of missing out. And you could put yourself in a poorhouse really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to remember that it was Brian, right?
Brian's a doctor. He's got lots of money.
He's got lots of money, but he's also been doing this a long time.
A long time, yeah. Okay?
And so you're talking about he was collecting varieties where people were giving them away because people didn't know what they were or didn't understand. It's not the same environment that it was 30, 40, 50 years ago when you could buy a 1914D Lincoln cent Lincoln cent for $30, $40, $50. Talking with, I wish Eric was in the house because Eric has a good story when he used to run his little coin shop type thing, and he would go to coin shops. He worked with a coin shop who they would give him all of his 1914 Ds for cheap if they were below MS60. And we're talking like, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. Could you imagine if you had all those now? It was a different world 30, 40 years ago. So when you see these major collections and you see these people that have these huge, massive coins, they've had them for a while, right? Brian has some discovery coins. He has one of 5 in some of these varieties. He found the coin. It was sent to the expert. They validated, verified it, and then slabbed it, right?
Mhm.
This was back when PCGS actually, now some of these show discovery coin. Some of these show
Mhm.
the listings that now they won't list.
Well, variety collecting has only become popular in, recent years, like in the last couple decades. So things like that were very attainable and
Yeah.
affordable.
So don't get wrapped up in what the phrase I always knew was keeping up with the Joneses,
Yeah.
right? You can't try to match wits with somebody who makes 10 times the amount of money you do, or that has been doing this for 50 years when you're only 25 years old. They've been collecting and searching longer than you've been alive.
I don't remember, I know he doesn't have the 58, but does he have a 69S? I think he's only missing a couple.
He not only does he have a 69S, he has
Okay.
a gorgeous specimen of one.
Okay. I couldn't
Like an
remember.
MS64.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember
Yeah.
if he had one
Like
or not.
one of the top
So he's only missing the 58.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think that's the only big wig he's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, and if you guys, Farm Dog, you're in the chat. Hold on just a minute. Let me, oh, what just happened? My computer mouse, my mouse died. The battery died.
No.
Hold on.
Poor
Battery
mouse.
change time. Trying to share something with you, and my mouse isn't moving anymore. All right. Sorry about that. Stand by while we deal with this technical issue. Okay.
Keep in mind that most of those coins are still attainable if you're searching for them. Most of those coins are. But you have to look and look at a lot of coins.
Yeah, and again, when you're talking about boxes.
Yeah, boxes.
Boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes. I joke with Eric because, no exaggeration, he probably has 30,000 rolls of cents.
He was there too, right? Isn't he with Chuck?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's there's quite a few people there.
Yeah.
And it's just they're having just this fun coin reunion where you get, coin hobbyist enthusiast extraordinaire.
Yeah, very cool.
And they are sharing openly. So Farm Dog, I just made you a moderator. Do me a favor, please. Please go in and capture the links to those 2 live streams for copper coins and put them in chat. If you have the opportunity, okay, this is a collection. Take a few minutes and just watch. Look at what they have. Look at some of the things that they show you. Listen to Chuck talk about those things you need to look for. Look at the varieties. Be amazed when they show you a scent that looks brand new
Yeah.
and it's in 1917.
Yeah, the 1936 is no joke either. There's several.
Oh man, his 31S MS68 red brown.
Yeah.
It's like that's a $14,000. I mean, just it's so insane.
Crazy.
But here's the cool thing. Okay, when you're looking at this collection, okay, now it took me a minute. I had to leave the stream for a minute and stop and go. He is showing us all these coins I've only ever seen in pictures.
Yeah.
The pictures that I'm seeing, the discovery coins, the stuff on variety of. Now I have a couple plate coins, right? And I love periodically doing research on a coin and stumble across one and looking at it and go, oh, that's my coin.
Mhm.
Yes, right? It's cool. But when you're looking at the majors and this guy has like all of them,
Yeah, he does.
it is so freaking cool to understand that the quality of people. Now I'm talking about the brain power of the people that are sitting around, the knowledge of coins that are there. And they're sitting around, they're tossing around a barley pop, visiting, having fun, laughing, joking, and sharing this amazing collection. I recommend you all go check it out. Really, like seriously. And you guys will hear me say this all the time. You know, we promote channels. And we say, you know, oh, go check out this channel. They're really cool. Go check out this channel. I'm telling you, this is a must do.
Yeah.
If you like collecting coins, like, and I'm not just talking about, you know, stacking and just keeping silver and whatever. I'm talking if you like collecting coins, you're really interested in collecting coins. Go watch this and just bookmark it. Go
Mostly if you like
periodically.
Lincoln cents.
Lincoln
If
Center, a
you're
huge
not
one.
into
Yeah.
if you're not into that or you're not into varieties, then it won't be for you. But here's something you can think of though that might make you feel better. I know it makes me feel better when that little jealousy bug starts to bite. He ain't gonna own those forever. Someday those are gonna belong to somebody else. Just saying. He can't take them with him.
Well, and this is I was joking. I talking with Eric, and it was like, I need to figure out who I'm going to give my coins to when I pass. Right? Like, because if I just give them, who's going to appreciate some of the stuff that I have?
Well,
right?
Give them or sell them.
Oh no. So like when I pass away,
So you give them to you give them to your family, someone in your family, and if they don't appreciate them, then you hook them up with people you know that they can sell them to and that will appreciate them. Let them make a little bit of money.
Yeah. Well, so I collect more than just coins. But what I'm talking about is, so there are people that I know would appreciate a certain item.
Yeah.
So for instance, my daughter is getting all of my custom signed seraphim. I collect seraphim angels. They're really, really nice, custom big ones. Because I met one of the artists when I was in Japan at a show. And I was talking to him about it, and he was talking about his favorite numbers and stuff like that. And I was like, well, if I was ever buy one, I would want either 333 or 777. And he goes, well, when I finish it, I'll send you 777. And I was like, you know, okay, yeah, haha, funny, whatever. I was in the Navy. There was no way for going on. I gave him my information, left him some contact, kind of response, whatever. 4 years later, at my home in Utah, a package arrived and said, I'm a man of my word. Sent me 777 out of 1,500.
Neat.
Right. And so that kind of stuff, my daughter absolutely loves these things. and she's the artistic one, and she goes through. So she's going to get all of that kind of stuff. All of my high class, my nice artwork and stuff like that I keep, the collector stuff, that's just going to the boys. They can sell and distribute whatever they want. They're not going to appreciate it. I'm not giving the coins to my sons. I'll give a couple of them. They're not interested in it. They don't care. They've already like, whatever. If you want to give it to it, just tell us how much they're worth. So I won't give them to them. They'll go to somebody else. I'm going to give the paintings. They can sell those. They'll, I'll give them the contacts to it. But the coins and stuff, I don't have a lot. So all the coin books and stuff like that, they will go to, like my sister, right? They'll go to cousins or stuff like that. I have a couple nieces and nephews that I know would be interested in doing this kind of stuff. There are coin clubs and things like that are trying to get kids engaged. There's St. Jude, right? It'd be fun to be able to give stuff to an agency like that and have them disseminate that to kids that maybe got into the hobby, stuff like that. So I would like to utilize my coin collection. And again, it's minute, to engage people into the hobby. That would be really what I would want to do. So that's kind of my bend for what I want to do with my coin collection. The other stuff that I collect, I mean, I got the house, I got my stocks and bonds and all that other stuff. That's what's setting my family up. My coins ain't going to do it. If I was trying to do it off my coins, my family would be broke. So, but that's what I want to do with my coins. All your stuff is your wife's and hers is hers and what's yours is hers. Yeah, exactly. We joke about that all the time, actually. My mouse froze again. I just replaced the battery. Oh, it's got to be on my computer. There we go. What time is it? We got just a few minutes left. Let's see. What are we talking about? Anything you want to chit chat about, Paula? Any questions in the chat?
Any questions? Yeah, no, not really. I'm going to be making a complete fool of myself tomorrow night.
Do tell.
Well, we're all dressing up for our show tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. The Halloween live coin Q&A.
Yeah.
That's going to be one you want to be at.
Oh my gosh, I need to quit doing that. I volunteer myself for crap all the time and I need to stop doing it. Had to wear inflatable unicorn costume in Tulsa.
I got that video. That video's still getting likes, by the way.
Oh my god. Anyway,
that's hilarious.
That's about it.
Is it going to be a surprise?
I don't know. I told everybody it's Sally Skellington. Sally Skellington.
Sally Skellington. So for the people who don't know who that is,
Nightmare Before Christmas. She's a little rag doll that falls in love with Jack Skellington. And I have to do my makeup, and I'm not good at that kind of stuff, and I have to put on false eyelashes. So I may be blind by the time the show comes on.
Doug Rez is like, hey, aren't we all related?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not going to be on tomorrow night's stream, Jackalope. And there's some controversy over that too. So there's some controversy over that. Someone believes that it doesn't match known examples, that the grading company got it wrong. So there's some controversy over it. Either way, whatever, it is what it is, right? So I don't know. The guy who made a comment. So if you want to see what was said, you can go on Ken's Facebook group. And the guy he kind of took the wind out of my sails. I'm still excited for the guy. I would like him to send it to maybe NGC and see what they say. But Yeah.
So what was the question?
The 1969 Canadian 10-cent large date.
Yeah, what was the controversy?
Well, so the guy had it graded and it came back authentic, which
Yep.
is huge because there's only like 18 known examples. Um, and someone in the group who is kind of a Canadian coin expert said that it doesn't match any of the known examples that he has seen, and the obverse die doesn't match any of the known examples that he has seen. Now, granted, he's not seen all of the examples, right? So, and he's only seen pictures. ICCS had the coin in hand. And I would think that with a coin that has the potential to be that valuable, they would be like, make sure that they're correct when they say it's genuine.
The ICCS is pretty reputable.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
And I
So
would think,
they're not going to just make a willy-nilly assumption.
No, I would think that there's been a lot of, and I sent it to an expert to look at, and there's been a lot of eyes on this coin, not saying that those people aren't all wrong, because it happens. So yeah, it happens.
Well, and even NGC and PCGS have made mistakes. You look at different coins that have been counterfeits that they've graded over the years.
And they are notorious for getting, not so much PCGS, since John Sullivan does most of their error attributions or error examinations and verifications, but they in NGC and PCGS have gotten it wrong on errors and varieties, and they have missed things, and they have mislabeled things, and Antics is pretty good when it comes to that stuff. But
so here's the thing about, and I'm not going to get into. There's people that bash NGC and PCGS, and they blah, blah, blah. If you were to be in the know of the production that they have to go through, the volume of coins, the amount of time they get about 7 seconds a coin when they're doing some of these bulk submissions. And you're talking about hundreds of thousands of coins. Mistakes are going to happen. Right? And so the identification of those mistakes and doing stuff like that, working with PCGS to get them corrected, they will resolve and correct an issue.
Well, they have a guarantee.
Yeah. So
they have a guarantee.
It drives me nuts when I hear people say, oh, they made a mistake. It's like, okay, well, what business are you in?
Yeah.
Tell me your processes. You've never gave out too much money at a till? You never refunded too much money back, or you've never overpaid for something?
And it pays for them to be accurate, because if they straight grade a counterfeit coin, they have to give you the value of the actual coin, the real coin. So it pays for them to be accurate.
Oh yeah. They're again, not only that, but you have, again, mistakes are going to be made, right? That happens from time to time. Now, the mistakes that I'm talking about normally don't come within grading. They normally come within encasing a coin, labeling a coin, documenting a specific item, missing a checkbox from an attribution that's supposed to be on a coin. They don't attribute it. Those are oversights. Those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. Yeah. When you go back and you look at the number of major issues in grading, there's not tons of them. They've happened, but there's not tons of them. But they do happen from time to time.
Yeah.
So don't dwell, and especially if you get one, and this is the one that always makes me laugh. Actually, it doesn't make me laugh. It pissed me off at first, and now it's kind of just whatever. Man, I got these 24 coins back, and I had them all attributed, and they didn't attribute one of them. Well, did you look and see if they were on the list of the ones that they'll actually attribute?
Yeah.
No? Well, that's shame on you, not shame on them.
Right.
You you need to understand what they'll do. Right. And this is like looking at plate coins, right? So I want to send my plate coins in to get them slabbed just because it's something I want to do. It's the
Right.
plate coin. That's the
Right.
one the photos are of.
Right.
Awesome. Right. It's a cool thing. It's bragging rights. That's all it is. Bragging rights. Doesn't really increase the value of it. It's just bragging rights.
No, there are a few circumstances where having a coin slab
Few.
that doesn't meet the value criteria is acceptable or is, understandable. And that's one of them. Is a sentimental value.
Yeah.
A lot of people have coins put into slabs because it protects them, and the coin, it has sentimental value to them, and they don't care. They don't plan on ever selling it, so they just want it in a holder, and that's
Yep.
it. And that's okay.
So I think I've got, and when did the Annex has a submission right now where it's 13 for like $112 or something like that.
129, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
They have specials all the time, and they are perfectly good. So I
Yep,
happen to be a fan of antics. Some people don't like. I think the biggest issue people have is it's an ugly slab. It's an ugly label or whatever. I don't know.
no, I like the rounded top, but they're not pretty slabs.
No, but who cares? I mean,
Yeah.
I like them, and I think that they are accurate. And anyway, yeah, I like them,
Yeah.
especially for errors and varieties, because they will attribute coins that the other TPGs won't.
Yeah.
And they're very good with the error coins. And so
And there are some so like PCGS won't even recognize copper coins designation.
no, only cherry pickers guides.
Yeah.
Cherry
So
picker guides or Newcombs or Sheldons or
when you're looking at doing that kind of stuff, you really need to keep in mind what the grading service will and won't do, right?
Mhm.
So if you hear these people, and I know you've all seen the videos, right, by various people, big, small, whatever, take it with a grain of salt. A lot of people are just sore because they didn't get what they wanted. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They didn't get the grade they wanted. I was sore when I got my 1883 Morgan back, the CC, at 63. I thought it was going to be 64, 65. I've seen my pictures were better than the 64 that's on there now, but it didn't grade that way. I was a little sore, but then I'm like, well, they must have seen something that I didn't see. I'm not a grader. I just got bent out of whack because it wasn't what I wanted.
And your coin may have been better than the one they had a photograph of. It may have.
It could have.
The odds are you got a different grader.
Yeah, and it very well could have. And that's just the thing. But
it's not a perfect science, right? It's an art. Grading is not a science. Grading is an art.
Send it back in.
Grading is an art. It is not a science.
So the one I do want to get sent in, it's probably the only coin outside of my plate coins that I should get graded. But the one I really want to do is my 21D Morgan.
Just to see
if I get that 70.
Yeah, you are not going to be able to tell with your eye.
No. It's good looking. And I've looked at it and it's like, it's close.
Yeah.
It's high likely it's going to come back as a 69, but man, if it comes back as 70, that's pocket
I
change
think
time.
most of them are getting 70s when they're perfectly centered. I think that's the only thing they look at. I don't know. I'm guessing. But yeah, it's or if somebody's having a really good day. If somebody is having a really good, send it in when people start getting their taxes back. Because maybe somebody will get a really good windfall on their taxes and give you a good grade. I don't know.
And hopefully you're not the one who receives the coin grade by the person who receives an audit notice.
Exactly.
All right, folks. Well, it is 10:23. I know it's a little bit earlier than normal. I've got a friend in town I haven't visited for 5 years, so we're going to go have lunch with them. So I'm going to go ahead.
Bye,
I'm going to go ahead
everybody.
and say again, Paula. Oh, she was like, "Have a good day. See you later. Bye." Thank you, Paula. Love you so much. Appreciate you coming up and supporting us in this. But again, I'm going to go hang out with them. So I need to go get ready, hang out. Now I want everybody to go to Coin Crew. I'm not going to be there today, as I stated. I've already let them know. They know exactly what's going on. But please go get yourself some coffee. Take a little bit of a break. Go get yourself some, love from your spouse, your significant other. Pet your dog or cat. Say hi to your bird. Whatever it is. Feed your fish, and then come on back, check out Coin Crew, and then look in for a good auction. There is going to be some things, or there are, excuse me, my language has gone shoddy. There are going to be some things that are coming out this week. I've got another Planes on Coins video coming out on Wednesday. I've got my final trivia treat drawing. There's going to be some things going on. I haven't yet determined if I'm going to do that live or if I'm going to do that, just record it and then have everybody contact me. I'll determine that. There's going to be so many people doing live streams. I would rather not compete with everybody. I'll probably just throw up the video, give you a week to look at it, and then contact me. Again, if you haven't already done so, go smash that like, subscribe. And you know what I'm going to do? Just because I love you guys, I appreciate all the support. This is for the Steve Lapointe Super Membership giveaway at the very beginning. We're going to pull one more out, and the winner is going to be David Carlisle. Oh man, Dave can't win because he's not here. So no, David, do me a favor. Congratulations. Send me an email, and I'll send you off some sort of numismatic item to say thank you for being a member and for being a part of the stream, for being I said a member, but it was a moderator. Appreciate you. Farm Dog, send an email. I will confirm it. Farm Dog, got you. Appreciate you. I will send that out probably later this evening. Get that out in the mail. You should get that hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and we will chat with you another time. Again, make sure you're throwing that Coin Crew link into the chat if you would. Take care. Be well. Be blessed. We will talk to you all another day. See you later.